Now, you touched on something that reminded me of what we were talking about with family values in general. They're under attack in America, but masculinity is also under attack. And I love this connection between your grandfather, your father, and yourself. Do you feel a sense of passion of making sure that men have that kind of mentorship in life? And are you involved in that in any way? I mean, you've seen the MS-13 rise up in what it's done to men and to women, but you've also seen the destruction with the drugs, the destruction of our culture. Do you want to have positive change with that at all?
Absolutely. I'm trying to, with my platform or influence, I do want to be obviously a leader and lead. And I think one thing that I've learned through my journey, because people ask me all the time, they're like, hey, Jorge, like, why do you do what you do? Why do you put yourself in these high-risk situations? They always concerned about me. And I think, like I said before, I think for men, they need to have kind of a cause or a purpose that's bigger than them. When you don't have that, you become selfish. And to either raise a family or to lead, you have to make sacrifices and you have to put yourself out and sacrifice yourself for the community. So I'm hoping with the lessons that my grandpa passed to my dad, the sacrifices that my dad taught to me, that I want to obviously show my kids in the future, then them teach other people. But I'm also trying to use my platform and inspire other people. I always have young men always reaching out like, hey, how do I do this? Or you have any tips? And it's just about hard work. And I think I think with the instant gratification living in the United States and the apps and things like that, people, a lot of young people, I think you could relate. They want it now, right? They want to, I'm pretty sure you have people like, hey, Maury, how do you make all this content? I've been making content for 2 months and no one's looking at it, so I quit. It's like, you got to go years and grind. So I think a lot of, like I said, it's important for men to have that mission statement and that purpose, because that's how you're going to be able to lead a family. And you're one day going to have, young men, kids, and a son, and you want to teach them how to make those sacrifices too. So I'm just wanting to be the example, so that one day I could at least show my kids, hey, look at all the work, the sacrifices we did. You want to serve your community. You want to have like I said, a cause that's bigger than yourself. And when you have that, I think that's how we have a thriving society.
I agree. Now, I like to be solutions oriented. These shows, these episodes, they're very negative in many ways because they're harsh stories. It's the real world. It's humanity. But I hope that we can be positive and try and find solutions moving forward for the country. So we talked a little bit about the problems with the border and kind of reining in MS-13. Do you have any solutions for that specifically, for the drug problems that you were discussing? I mean, I love what the parents are doing in Virginia. Perhaps we could talk about that a little bit more and the organization that they did there. But what do you see as the next steps for us based on what you've been seeing on the ground?
Well, it's tough because our country has so many issues, and if I had the solutions, I would be the president right now. Yeah. But I do think, like I said, with all the different kind of problems, it all kind of starts at the home, and having that strong nuclear family in that base. And when you have that, you could then tackle kind of all these outside sources coming in. And that's why I think we see a lot of Americans falling into fentanyl and opioids, because they come from a broken family. They don't have their fathers in their lives. Many people, I'm 26, so many people my age that I talk to, they seen that when the financial crash happened in 2008, they saw their family divorce. They saw their fathers get into opioids and alcohol, and then after that being raised by a single mother. So I think if we could take it back traditional, how to have a strong family, then you can start to fight kind of the outside forces. Starting local is great. I think the parents in Virginia showed us that you could start local. I call it the soccer mom base. So anytime you anger that base, they have the energy to fight back. But I think it's starting local, getting involved. And I think, because like that, you start to fight out, like I said, the outside solutions. You're able to fight off a lot of the kind of this education that's kind of turning kids into kind of more communist leaning. When you have that strong family, you're able to fight that. So I think that's where it starts. And then hopefully politics aligns with that. I think we need to make it easier to have one-income families. I mean, I think that's like a big thing. Like, we can't have fathers working 2 jobs, moms working 2 jobs, one income, mom stays home. I think a huge issue right now with young people not getting married in our country is the college system. And what I mean by that is, let's say I'm 22 years old, I'm graduating from UCLA, I meet a nice girl, she's in love with me, I'm in love with her, we both graduate. This is just an example. So I say, hey, Stacy, I love you, I want to get married, but you have $100,000 in debt, and I'm in debt $200,000. This whole starting a family, let's push that to 30. And I think that's a huge issue in our country, because young people are not getting married. We're also not starting families young, and we're pushing that off. So I think if we can make all that easier, we would start to fight off a lot of these issues.
No, I agree. It's a little passion of mine. If I could find a way so that American families could survive on one income, I would do it. It's something where I think that could solve so many problems. But it's also a change of heart. You have to get people to understand and see the value, and not only see that, but see what's lost because of everything that we've gone away from in the country. And so the more you communicate those things, I think will reach people. So thank you so much. Hey guys, it's Morgan. Thanks so much for watching The Freedom Records. Do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so that you get notified when new content comes out. Thanks so much.